Click the first link in the description for the best Askreddit content. Today I fucked up by not putting my hand on my heart during the national anthem. Now this happened 2 days ago, but I just thought to put it on here. Just for a little background info, I, 17F and autistic, have never really supported the country I live in. It's definitely not as great as patriots argue that it is. And with current events, there's certainly nothing to be proud of right now. America is a violent, prejudice-ridden country with no respect for people's human rights. Being in the disabled community, and a woman, I can definitely vouch for my claims. Now, I'm a cheerleader, and we have to stand in a line during the national anthem with our hand on our hearts, and per the claims I made above, I didn't. A few minutes later, my coach, who I loved dearly and respects my opinion 100%, comes up to me and tells me she got some complaints from another teammate's mother and father. Told her that it's none of their business whether I comply with their views or not, and that they need to leave me alone and look away. She says she understands and it's okay. I'm a little heated, but I drop it and go cheer and have fun. After the football game, I get home and my mother gets a Facebook message from my teammate's father basically tattling on me for peacefully expressing my views, saying I shocked and offended him as he is a veteran, and says I was extremely disrespectful. My mother reminds him that it's my right as an American to express my views however I see fit, and that while she understands she is not obligated to change my opinion nor suppress my First Amendment right. He agrees and carries on. I then get a message from my mother sending me a link to this man's Facebook post saying that what I did should be considered treason and that I should be punished accordingly, and that since I'm not an adult I have no right to express the First Amendment. And some people in his comments are even suggesting physical violence towards me. I make my own post about people needing to mind their business and respect other people's views. My teammate then messages me at 1:30 in the morning threatening to fight me and saying she's coming to my house, saying I'm a disgusting bitch and that I deserve to die, and that the next time she sees me she's going to hurt me. So I respond by saying that it's none of her business nor her family's business how I choose to express my beliefs, and that I have not once bashed their beliefs like they have bashed mine, and they need to leave me alone and mind their own business. I'm not causing anyone any harm, and if it bothers them so much then they need to stop watching me, and that they're putting in a lot of work for someone they think is a disgusting bitch. I later send the messages to our coach, and my teammate's father blocks my mother on Facebook. They tried to use the argument that my father is a veteran and that I'm disgracing him, but when told about the situation my father stuck up for me and even agreed that America is embarrassing right now and nothing to be proud of. Should I really be getting so much backlash for peacefully expressing my beliefs at the expense of literally nobody else? And I know this isn't your usual funny today I fucked up, but I just needed some insight. Too long didn't read. I didn't put my hand on my heart during the national anthem, and one of my teammates' parents had a cow and their daughter threatened me profusely despite my effort to ignore her. The parents also made a vague Facebook post and said it was treason and I need to be punished accordingly, and that since I'm not an adult I cannot exercise my First Amendment right, and now the community is threatening me with physical violence. Edit, had to reword some things cause I was getting nasty messages. Skeptical. Update, the girl was suspended from the team and then called DHS saying my parents were supplying me with drugs and alcohol to try and get my sisters taken from my mom. I was spoken to by a very nice employee from DHS and told him what happened, and he understood that she was calling for revenge, and since I could pass a drug test he rendered the case as a false report. Her parents are still making hostile Facebook posts. I will tell you what I tell my own ASD son. You will make yourself miserable trying to understand why people do things that to you are so incredibly illogical. Sometimes you just have to give up trying to understand why people do things like this and just accept that you will probably never change their minds, mostly because they don't want to change their minds. That said, it appears they have crossed over to harassment and threats. You and your parents should at least discuss making not only a police report but a report to whatever agency governs the team you are on. I would hope that whatever team you are on, school, community, private, has some code of conduct requirement that would protect you from threats and abuse. Finally, you did nothing wrong. There is no mandate associated with the pledge or the national anthem that requires standing or saluting, including putting your hand on your heart. As far as veteran status, that flag does not represent the military, nor does the pledge. Veterans have fought to preserve the ideals it represents, which include your right to not place your hand on your heart if you do not want to. Can tell you are strong and smart. You have this. Don't let them rent a spot in your brain. This girl needs to be suspended from the team. She threatened you. Unfortunately, my school isn't the kind to really take action on situations like this. They'll more than likely tell me that since it was over text they can't do anything. Veteran here. Trying to prevent someone from expressing free speech and using the fact that they are a veteran to shame you from doing so is what I find more disrespectful. Saw a video the other day of a crowd of people yelling at some people kneeling during the national anthem. They were kneeling in a silent, respectful way. The crowd, however, showed extreme disrespect by yelling throughout the anthem. Same type of thing. Boggles my mind. Holy hell. What terrible people, fuck them straight to hell. Props to you for expressing your views, and not stooping to their level, and props to your parents and coach for being so reasonable as well. You sound very respectable and mature, and it sounds like you have a fantastic support base as well. Be safe, keep your parents/coach updated on what's going on for the sake of safety, and keep on living your best life. You are completely in the right legally as well, regardless of how others feel about your beliefs. My grandfather fought in World War II. He has 2 Purple Hearts and he flew the flag on his house for his entire life. He also actively fought very hard for the rights of native people as well as for PUC and LGBTQ. I was always made aware that the history of our country isn't anywhere near as pearly white as they try to make it out to be in school. I can tell you absolutely without question and without even the tiniest doubt that he would be absolutely horrified by the state of this country. He would support you 110%. You did nothing wrong, and I believe he would say that you actually did something entirely right. Standing up for what you believe in can very often be super hard, especially when the whole system telling you that you should is then turning around and saying, no, not like that. The message is double. Stand up, but only if you agree with us. You're doing the right things the right ways. Today I fucked up by attempting a home DIY. Bought some super cute light blue paint for the front door of our new house. Been living here less than a month. Stored it on the top shelf of our entryway closet that is immediately in front of the door. Tried to get out the painting supplies and knocked the can over. Light blue paint went everywhere. All over the original hardwood floors, the contents of the closet including 10 pairs of shoes, the closet door, my hair, the baseboards, the entryway carpet, everywhere. An hour of scrubbing later and it's mostly clean. I knew the lid on that can was a little loose. I'm not sure it would have mattered if it wasn't. The only way I did not screw this up was by deciding to purchase a quart of paint instead of a gallon. TL/doctor, I spilled bright blue paint all over my new house and original hardwood floors. The messier the item, the lower it should be stored. Things I learned living in an earthquake zone. I do not live in an earthquake zone but will take this advice forevermore based on my clumsiness. Are you feeling blue? Really and true. As a fellow clumsy person, I'm glad you got it mostly clean. Really protect yourself when you are clumsy. I duct tape lids closed, We prioritized the floors and shoes. The inside of the closet door still had a lovely smear of blue, but for now it shall remain closed most of the time. Never store paint inside. It has been officially moved to the shed. You're lucky it was water-based paint. Today I fucked up by staying during a Category 4 hurricane. Update to add image link. We'll post more throughout the day. Too long didn't read. Hurricanes are fucking scary. So I've lived in Louisiana all my life. I am 32 years old and have always evacuated for any hurricane that has threatened to hit our area. Well, this time we didn't. We knew if we left it'd be upwards of a week until we could return to our home. We decided to go to my sister's as her house is a hell of a lot more stable than our mobile home. It's weathered many a storm in her time, including Hurricane Rita. Well, right now I'm laying on the floor of the center part of the house having a damn panic attack because this shit's fucking scary. The whole house is moving and swaying with the winds. We have about 30 more minutes until the eye passes us and it can't pass fast enough. Y'all, I'm fucking terrified right now and my chest is on fire. I know that we will be okay, but my anxiety is telling me otherwise. Keep me in your thoughts and always evacuate. Update 2, more pictures. Third and final update, damage to our home. It's good you've got internet. Do not go outside during the eye. This is when most people are killed. Lots of reasons, one of them being that wind picks up really fast and there's a lot of loose stuff around that's going to be going backwards. Don't be a statistic. After the storm, be particularly careful of downed wires. Electrocutions are a big risk. And snakes. But that's just me. Relax, chill, help is on its way. We're stopping by Home Depot for supplies in the morning and will be there in the afternoon. Oh, I definitely know better. My ass is staying inside until all of her is gone. We're going to go in the morning and assess the damage at our property and hope for the best. Everything is gonna be fine, I'm sure of that. Tomorrow come back here and reply. I'll be waiting. I'll be up, still I'm sure. I'm sitting on the floor in the bathroom doorway smoking a cigarette trying to calm down. I told my husband never again will we stay. I don't care if we have to wait a week to come back or 3 weeks. This is torture sitting here listening to the howling wind, the house moving and sounding like the roof is about to rip off the house. I'm hoping the cell towers don't go. Power and radio are out now. I have one earbud in with music going for my nerves. Yo buddy, you still there? Still here and still awake. We're finally getting to the end of the storm. Just in time for the sun to come up so we can see how bad it is out there. Serious question, non-American here. Why are American houses made of wood and not concrete? Cost is a big part of it, the other is how quickly they can be built. I'm not sure how long it takes to build houses in other countries, but a pretty large house, 2,500 plus square feet, can be built from scratch in a month or less in most parts of America. In 2004 I was a catastrophe claims agent. I put a motorcycle helmet on, placed the lawn furniture inside a pool and rode out the storm while in the water. The whole idea with the lawn furniture is it doesn't become projectiles and stays relatively put if it's placed in the water. We were then the first cat team into Punta Gorda and West Palm Beach. Suggest investing in a Harbor Freight 500-gallon-an-hour transfer pump, as well as put all the food in sealed containers away from the surge water as soon as possible. Buy 5-gallon bottled water in advance and get yourself a strobe light as well as IR strobe, in the event you need to be evacuated. We have enough provisions for a few days. Bathtub full of water, sinks, pots, bottles and containers. Storm surge isn't an issue, normally, here, and I haven't seen any reports of any this far inland. We're miles from any water source and about 40 miles from the coast. The eye is over us now and we're about to go for round 2 with the backside of the storm. We have about 4-ish more hours of hell to endure, but the worst part has finally passed. She wasn't supposed to be this strong, but that's the thing with nature, you literally never know.